Hey, what's up, fellow sci-fi fans? CK'd here, and today I'm diving into an absolute sci-fi gem that I just recently discovered. Farscape. Yeah, it's from 1998, and honestly, I have no idea how I managed to not see it for this long. It's old now that I have. It's already up there in my top 5 sci-fi shows of all time. If you're a fan of deep space, bizarre aliens, and mind-bending science, buckle up, because Farscape is all of that and more. So, how have I not found this so far in my whole entire 26 years on this earth? Well, I just never seen it. It was actually made, first released like 1998, which was like the year that, I was a baby. So I wasn't like going around as like a little baby, like watching alien stuff. You know what I mean? So yeah, I just never caught it in that time. And I must have seen like an episode at some point in the past, but just never really clocked on to what I was watching. And then it was only recently when I was like scrolling through like shows and I like seen it. You know, when you go from like H, B, C, D, E, F in the list of like alphabetical order. And I just saw it and thought, why not give this a shot? And honestly, I have no regrets. This is so good. And honestly, I love it. So let's talk characters, because this show nailed character development. At first, I honestly didn't like most of them, and they just felt straight up mean. But as the series goes on, they evolve in ways that just blew me away. They keep their alien instincts and personalities, but grow through the interactions with John Crichton, the only human in the crew. He's basically our window into this insane universe. Take Dargo, for example. This dude starts off ready to tear off Crichton's head off every single episode, but as the show progresses, they form this incredible bond. You start to see a softer side to Dargo. It's that slow burn of character development that really, really hooked me. And speaking of alien personalities, Farscape isn't afraid to let its characters stay alien, which is quite refreshing. A lot of times you see in shows like to do with sci-fi, they try and humanize the aliens, which I feel always ruins the characters in general, because it's just really refreshing. Seeing like a different type of culture like that, and the fact that they're not just acting like humans and all that, it's very good, honestly. Take Dargo, for example. He's very instinctive and reactionary, like an animal, to be honest, but as well with obviously intellectual thought, which is obviously quite different from a human's perspective. But it's what makes him, honestly, so real. The diversity in alien cultures is crazy. From the peacekeepers that look human, but anything but, to the hundreds of different species you meet along the way. Honestly, it's a feast for any sci-fi fan out there. The show doesn't hold back on the science either. It's packed with high-concept sci-fi from the very first season. And there's an early episode on that deals with singularities that had me glued to the screen. Like, honestly, I was so in love with this episode. It really got me into this to show after that. Like, once that episode, I think it was episode 5, after that I was glued for the rest of the season. I've never really seen like singularities done in such an interesting way, apart from like a couple of games and maybe a few odd episodes in different shows. But I really liked this one because it really just had a lot of patterns, and it showed how a single choice can really change the outcome. Because John Crichton had this set moment where he kept resetting to, and he kept trying something to fix the episode. I don't want to spoil it, so obviously go watch it, but it's a really good episode, and I quite like how John Crichton isn't like an idiot in it. Like, he's quite intelligent and eventually works out what to do, and it's just such a good episode. It's that mix of complex, bizarre ideas that just makes it so unique. If you're into sci-fi that pushes the boundaries, the show has it in spades. And for a show from the late 90s, the effects are impressive. We're talking practical effects, puppetry from the Jim Henson Company. At least I think that's the correct company name. I've written it down. And some CGI that honestly holds up better than a lot of mid-tier sci-fi shows from today. The alien designs are just awesome. And honestly, each episode, when they show a new alien, sometimes it's not always super cool, but from the onset, you do see some really cool and interesting designs. And honestly, it's just so impressive. Like, even each episode now, I'm just so surprised at how much I like the alien sort of choices. It's just so cool. Also, can we talk about Claudia Black? Because she's in this as Erin's son, and she's incredible. You might know her from the, from her voice from great games like Dragon Age or Mass Effect. But in Farscape, she brings so much depth to her role as a former peacekeeper. Like, you can see like genuine regret and just a transformation through the show. Like, she goes from like, the peacekeepers in general are quite like military based, cold-blooded, easily will like kill someone or do whatever it is they need to do. But in this, she really does just grow, and her performance is amazing. Like, obviously her voice acting's amazing and top tier. I mean, she's still getting like major roles as Morrigan even to this day because she's that good. And in this, she's awesome. Like, honestly, she doesn't carry, actually. They're all great characters and great acted, but she really does bring that acting chops to this show. Like, it's just so good. I'll quickly just say as well, it is a bit of a slow burn, this show. Like, it does take a couple episodes to get into it. Just mainly because the way this show really introduces you to the universe is a bit like In the Eyes of John Crichton, when you end up in this bizarre, crazy alien universe that's just so unique, but also so crazy and bizarre. And half the time you're trying to settle your feet on the ground while you're watching this show, which is, pretty unique. But yeah, I would recommend to get through a few episodes until eventually it clicks. Like for me, episode 5 clicked it and made me go, yes, let's carry on with this show. So yeah, I'm going to give Farscape like an 8.9 out of 10, which is big score from me, to be honest. Though I might be still hyped from like watching it. But it's just got such a great thing going with it, really. Great world building, character development. Really develops a form of attachment from me to the characters, and it's actually got an ending, which is, you can't say like that about a lot of shows, and it's actually pretty good apparently. I think it's called The Peacekeepers Wars, which is like a mini 2-part series show right at the end, like after season 4. And honestly, yeah, you can't really ask for more than that. Like, a great ending, great show, and for sci-fi fans like me, an absolute must watch. That's it for today's video. If you love sci-fi as much as I do, drop a comment with your thoughts on Farscape, or let me know of any other little hidden sci-fi gems that I should check out next. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video. CK signing out.